Hey, YouTube. Oh my goodness. So let me just go here. I was roller skating at the YouTube roller skating rink, and as I went around, I saw different cliques, and everything. And I promise you, this is is un- I really don't even know how to begin this. Let me just say this. When did we become a society that the way you get back at me or the way you come for me is to talk about my child? When did it become that males, and I'm not, and because everybody who is a male is not a man, just like everybody who's a female is not a woman, okay? These things are state of mind. And you know, I just sit back and I watch a lot of stuff and I listen, and I don't see how, in any form, that a mother can sit back and think it's okay or cheer on anyone that dogs out somebody else's child. If you mad at me, see, the game in the street is like this. Street rules is, and I don't know where y'all come from, but let me just say it like this. Street rules is, you don't talk about my mama, you don't talk about my kids, and you dang sure don't mess with my money. Those three things will get you a beat down and a bullet, and not in that order, okay? So, when did we become the type of people that say it's okay to bring a child in a fight? And I hear people say, well, if you roast and gag, I always fair in a fight. That's not true. See, because when we're going at it, if I don't bring up, this is what I notice. Most of the time, the people that's talking about kids are the ones that don't have any. You understand what I'm saying? Um, and that's disheartening. It really is, because your level of, let me just say this, your mentality should speak louder than your anger. Especially, there's somebody that always say, we didn't buy property together. You don't know me, I don't know you. This is a business thing, okay? And I get that to a certain extent, but what shows me your character is when things hit the road, things go opposite of what they've been going, and you can hold your own in a level of disagreement or arguing without downgrading the child. Now, if you have a child and you say something about my child, then I can come back and say something about yours. 9 times out of 10, I wouldn't. That's me. Because again, it's all about my mentality. I can talk about you and can leave everything else that you got alone, like your mother, your father, I can come for you. But it's not about all that, because this is what trips me out. People always want to say they are on this level, but when it's time to prove that you own said level, you know where to be found. That level is empty, and you're further below than what you think you are. I just don't understand it. I have no cat in the fight, you know what I'm saying? But I'm a mother, okay? And some things just touch me in different ways than it would another female. You know, let me tell you something about, now I don't study the zodiacs, but I can tell you about my sign. Let me tell you about Libras. Libra women. Libra women. If we for you, baby, we are for you. We will fight for you. We would ride for you, baby. We for you. Now, we'll tell you when you messing up, but we'll stand for you no matter what. Now, there is a balance going on here. One side is a level-headed person that X, Y, and Z. But then when you get in the middle and you tip that scale to the other side, then you unleash a beast. Okay? And when the beast is unleashed, everything that you done, we going to tell you about it. Because we don't forget nothing. It's just that we love you so much and we for you so much, we overlook it. We put it on the back burner. But whenever it comes a time for us to face you about you, we're going to tell you about you. And depending on how rough it gets, we stand 10 toes down. And if we have to stand it by ourselves, so be it. So I believed this content creator meant from her heart today when she was shedding those tears, because we love hard. We care hard. We fight for what we love, what we care for. If we say we for you, dang nabbit, we for you. And can't nobody tell me nothing about you. I'm gonna have to see it for myself. We go all in. No matter how much you hurt us, we go all in because you my friend. I got your back. And most of the time, to be honest, if I can be honest, we don't receive that back. We are the friends. You know, the Bible states, in order to have a friend, you must show yourself friendly. Paraphrasing. And a lot of times we show that we're friend, you know, that we friend material. We show that we the person's friend, but the people are so how can I say this? Got their agenda that they don't let that happen. Okay, so like, let me just say this. In a relationship, I'm so open and honest about me that it's hard for people to like me because they think I'm lying. They rather hear a lie than the truth. Like, I've told people about my past, you know, everything. I'm just an open book. And people find it hard to believe that I'm so open like it. They're like, I can't believe it's true. Well, why would I lie to you? You ain't God, and you ain't you ain't no Ed McMahon with a check waiting to give it to me. Or Steve Harvey. So I don't have to lie to you. You know, and my philosophy is, if God knows, that's one person too many. You know, and I just don't get it. Some people, you know, Arsenio Hall used to say, it's the things that make you go, And that's where I'm at with it. It's like, really, because see, what makes me a believer is, if all of a sudden you can say stuff about my child. Now we've been knowing each other, and then all of a sudden you come out because you mad at me because of what I said. Are you trying to get a rise out of me because you didn't like what I said, or I hit you where where it hurts? Even if you say, oh, it didn't bother me, but then you come back and you throw my kid up in my face, something about my child in a derogatory manner, or something about me with my child in a derogatory manner. Just 24 hours ago, you were my buddy. We were partners. We was co-workers, whatever the case may be. But now, because you mad at me spilling the truth, now you're going to put my child in it. You've been waiting to say that to me for a long time. This ain't nothing you just thought of. You've been waiting to say some stuff like that to me. When somebody goes there, they've been holding that in, honey, for a minute to tell you about yourself. That's something they kept in their chamber. See, Libra women, when we pushed, like when you challenge us and we done had enough, then we'll come full force, honey. We be locked and loaded. But it's like we don't want to be that way. We rather keep the peace. We rather keep it balanced. But when we pushed, that's a whole nother issue. A whole nother issue. So, you know, the streets got a lot to talk about. And it's just really sad. It's just really sad because If you don't like me, okay, you don't like me. Talk about me. Talk about my hair, talk about my body, lie about whatever you got to talk about. I'm grown. Cool. But my child's innocent. My child has nothing to do with what me and you going back and forth about. And it shows me, like I say, to me, it shows me the person's mentality. And it shows me the person's heart. Anybody who does that, you got a heart issue. I don't care if it's a female. I'm not just making this one sided. Anybody who does that, you have a heart issue. See, it's one thing to say you the grand poobah of the watermelon patch, that the second coming king, queen of Sheba. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to say you're on this pedestal and you can't come down because, we're peasants. But then you proved that not only are you not on the pedestal, you beneath me. Maya Angelou said, when people show you who they are, believe them. And a lot of times we could save ourselves some heartache if we believe who people are showing us when they first show us who they are. Now, here's the thing. I give you a chance, you burn me. Okay, I might turn the other cheek and give you another chance. You burn that cheek, ain't no more chances. See, because, and this is what I used to go through sometimes because, I was raised in the projects. I make no qualms about it. I miss my projects. I loved them because honey, who? Shh, that was my battlefield. You know, if you could survive there, you could survive anywhere. And that's the truth. So I used to have to deal with people who lived in, houses and stuff like that. They used to feel like they could talk about us because they used to think they could talk about us because we lived in the projects and they had a house. They walk around with their nose all up and all this and stuff. But you know what? Let me tell you something. I'm gonna give y'all this disclaimer. It used to be a girl I went to school with. She lived in this nice house. Her mother drove for the transit authority and made good money. And I lived in the projects. My mother worked where she worked at. I ain't gonna tell y'all too much information. She made good money, okay? This girl always felt like she could talk about me. Not because of what I had on, but because where I lived. And so I couldn't stand her. I actually tried to throw her down the steps of school, but that's a whole nother story. Make a long story short. So time went on. And one day I was driving. And I saw this particular person stand on the bus stop. Hey, baby. I saw this particular person stand on the bus stop. And so I was like, okay, it can't be who I think it is standing on the bus stop like that. So I'm like, well, let me go back around. So I goes back around, and it's her. And I said, well, hey, because remember in school I couldn't stand her. And she said, hey, Coco, is that you? Like it. I said, mm-hmm. And she said, how you been? I said, I'm good. How are you? She said, I'm good. Just waiting on this bus. Okay, strike number one. You ain't waiting on the bus, Miss Rich Rich. Not you. Not Miss, High and Mighty. You ain't waiting on no bus. I know. I know you got a being sitting over, 'cause y'all had all this money. And so I was like, I said, well, okay, uh, do you need a ride? Something like that. And so, make a long story short, y'all, come to find out, let me tell you how God will make something happen. I'm going to tell you how God will make something happen. Come to find out, this girl had been homeless. Now, I'm just telling y'all, talk about me living in the projects, because she had a house. Okay. She had been homeless, was living in a shelter, married a guy from the shelter that she was homeless with. Okay. Then got an apartment. Guess where she moved at? The projects. And guess where I was living? You got it. A house. See, you got to stop trying to play big when small got you. We are a cabbage patch away, a carrot plate away from being homeless, being whatever. Look at how this pandemic did. All these people with all these degrees. Now, I got some too, don't get me wrong. But everybody who's boasting and bragging and I got this and I got that and I got this, it don't mean nothing in this pandemic. You still just like me. You still waiting on government assistance. How you doing? So be careful of putting your nose down on people. I'm feeling like because you have maybe $2 more in the bank account than I do, that you're better than me, or someone like me. So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Who would have thought that that girl would have been living on the street, got married to somebody who was living on the street with her, moved into a shelter, and then moved into the projects. And she talked about people living in projects. See, here's the thing. God can take whatever you have in a split second. It can be gone just like that. Your bank account can be wiped out. Your house can be gone. Your car can be gone. Everything that you hold dear that make you feel like you are the grand poobah, or the king of the queen of whatever, can be gone in a blink of an eye. So make sure that you realize what you're saying. Make sure you realize what you're saying. It's not always good to talk about what people don't have because you do, just to make yourself feel better. This is just me talking. I ain't pointing no fingers at nobody. I'm just talking about what I'm talking about. I'm just saying. Sometimes to teach you a lesson, sometimes to teach you a lesson, gotta do what he gotta do. And that's what I'm saying. So, but never hit below the belt and talk about people's kids, try to get back at them. That's not a dig. That's immaturity. My opinion, my platform, my YouTube channel. So I'm saying how I feel. When you dig somebody's kids like that and they haven't did anything to you, that just shows the level of your mentality of where you are. So, and what's so funny is, let me say this. No, I'm gonna leave it alone. I really want to say it, but I'm gonna leave it alone. Um, I will say this: in the next 3 weeks, watch what happens. In the next 3 weeks, watch what happens. Because the same people, a friend says this to me all the time. The same thing that make you laugh now to make you cry later. And that's how I'm gonna leave it. Just remember, the same thing that make you laugh now will make you cry later. All right, smooches.